The learning goal for today is to change from standard form to vertex form. Change from standard form to vertex form. In our example, we have y equals negative 3x squared minus 18x plus 10. This is an equation of a quadratic function in standard form, and we're going to change it to vertex form. Our first step in the technique that we're going to use is to complete the square. So we're going to change it to vertex form by completing the square. Our first step is to subtract 10 from both sides, so we're going to move the plus 10 to the other side so that we leave a space here in order to complete the square. So subtract 10 from both sides. And then we notice that both negative 3 and negative 18 have a common factor of negative 3, so we're going to factor that out, and we're left with x squared minus 6x. And again, we've got that space there in order to complete the square. So we'll draw our box here, or square, in the area model, and place the x squared in the top left-hand corner. The negative 6x has to be split up evenly between the two boxes here so that our shape is a square. So negative 3x plus negative 3x will equal negative 6x. And then factoring, we see x times x equals x squared, and negative 3 times x is negative 3x, and a negative 3 there. So then, in order to see what goes into the missing corner here, we'll take negative 3 times negative 3 and see that 9 is the number that will complete the square for us. So we're going to add 9 inside the parentheses here, and when we do that, it's going to change the equation, so we have to add something to the left-hand side. And if you notice here, there's a negative 3. It's because negative 3 times 9 is what's been changed on the right-hand side. So on the left-hand side, we'll take negative 3 times 9 as well. So computing there, we'll see that we have y minus 10 minus 27, that's negative 3 times 9, and we've now completed the square inside the parentheses. At this point, we're ready to change this trinomial into a binomial square, and we saw that up here, x minus 3 times x minus 3. So we'll change the trinomial to x minus 3 squared. We'll add negative 10 and negative 27 to get negative 37. And the final step is to add 37 to both sides. And now we have y equals negative 3 times the quantity x minus 3 squared plus 37. And now we have the quadratic in vertex form. So go ahead and discuss with your neighbor what we did in this example. Now here's one for you to try. Y equals negative 2x squared plus 8x minus 5 converted to vertex form. Go ahead and try this with your neighbor. Okay, let's see how you did. First step was to add 5 to both sides to clear that space in order to complete the square. And then I noticed that negative 2 and positive 8, I could factor out negative 2, leaving x squared minus 4x inside the parentheses. And of course that spot there. The area model here with the square, I have x squared splitting the negative 4x into two spots evenly would be negative 2x and negative 2x. So we have x minus 2 and x minus 2 as the outer dimensions of the square, which tells us negative 2 times negative 2 is 4, and that's the number that we'll add in order to complete the square. But again, it's not just 4 we're adding, but it's 4 times negative 2, so we'll do the same thing to the left-hand side there. So we'll have y plus 5 minus 8, and then x squared minus 4x plus 4 completes the square there. And now this trinomial can be replaced with the binomial x minus 2 times x minus 2, or x minus 2 squared. And then the last step is to add 3 to both sides, and now we've completed the task of converting from standard form to vertex form.